It is a very sad day today. I'm saying goodbye to my favorite piece of gear that I've ever used, shipping it back to Lens Rentals. This video is not sponsored by Lens Rentals. It's just a great way to rent gear and use it for a while and then return it and love what you did. And it's a great way to like use gear that you're using specifically for a trip. Like if you're going on a safari and you want like a super telephoto lens, great way to do that. That's not what's in this box. I'm gonna keep it a secret. I'm actually gonna review it in a couple of videos, so stay tuned for that. But sadly, have to return it today. But it's like super sunny outside, like, But sometimes, like, if you're anything like me, you just get this itch and you like have to go shooting and you just need to get outside and start taking photos. So I got to thinking, like, even if it is sunny, you can still take amazing photos in direct sunlight. That's what we're gonna be doing today, just walking around my hometown in West Tennessee. First, I have to return this, unfortunately. So this is an idea that I had and something that I do from time to time, just walking around cities if I'm out traveling. It's gonna help my experience in composition creation, looking for interesting things. And overall, it's just gonna help out your photography in general, looking for interesting windows to fit through and just tons and tons of benefit for your photography overall. So we're gonna be walking around, looking at different things that we can shoot through. Overall, this is your typical like southern downtown area. So we're gonna be looking at different things we can do to shoot interesting places and interesting photos in midday, because this is something that I've wanted to do with my own photography for a long time and put an emphasis on, is shooting more in midday hours, because you're losing so much of the day by ignoring that section of the day. This is gonna help you improve those hours of the day and really get you shooting more out in the field, creating interesting photos. So let's get it. All right guys, tip number one, always know position of the sun and how it's affecting your contrast. Really embrace the contrast and know like what highlights to shoot, what shadows to shoot, and really embrace those designs and lines that it creates, whether that be in a city, on a rock, in a landscape at midday. Really go out and focus on how those lines are matching up. Behind me is City Hall, and the direction of the sun is coming in this way, but it creates a really interesting angle and contrasting light on that. So I'm gonna shoot the shadow over here and really have contrast shadows on this side and then bright white building over here. Also, the direction of the sun impacts how blue the sky is gonna be. So since the sun is coming in on this side, the blue sky is gonna be on this side. And it's gonna be really dark, deep, rich blue. I'm also gonna try to get those flags blowing in the breeze and really coming out in all their glory. And then lastly, what I'm gonna try to do is use the edge of the building and the shadow that it's creating and loop it around. Since we're using a wide angle lens, I'm gonna show you guys the composition that I'm working with right now. So essentially, here's the composition I'm working with. As you can see, here's that stark line, and on this side is more shadowed areas. On this side is more highlighted areas. So I'm gonna be using that as my highlight. Really deep, rich blue skies over here. Flags are gonna be positioned against that blue sky, and then I'm gonna use this like little loop and architectural line to really use the wide angle lens to loop that around and finish it off in the top right corner of the frame with that composition. Guys, thing number two to do is to use your natural windows. Now, natural windows are a huge way that you can improve your photography no matter where you're shooting. Today we're gonna be shooting through these trees that you see behind me, going towards the American flags and the courthouse in the background. It's a great way to use natural windows to frame up your subject and create interesting compositions. This guy knows. He's done it a time or two. So what we're gonna do is jump back here and start shooting this type of photography because it really does help improve compositions, whether you're shooting like in a city or in landscapes. So basically what I'm gonna be doing is framing up this shot to use these limbs right here to frame up this American flag vertically. These are in shadows, these foreground elements that we're gonna be having coming in from the top and swooping into the composition. But these right here are really gonna be framing up what is in proper exposure, which is the flag itself. So we're gonna just create this shot real quick with the wide angle, really stretching these foregrounds coming in from the top and leading you straight in to the flags themselves. All right guys, so there you have it, a quick glimpse at my hometown where I live, Jackson, Tennessee. Use these tips if you wanna just go out, if you have the itch to go shoot, if you just wanna improve your composition. All of this stuff is gonna help you be a better photographer, looking for those windows, looking for contrast. It's really hot out here though, so I'm gonna grab some lunch. Peace.